Welcome to Woodham Wanderer. Just heading out on a late afternoon walk. Just walking out of the town centre of South Woodham Ferrers, heading down towards Clementsgreen Creek? I'll have to have a look on the map. Put something up on there later. You can tell the sun's behind me. It's quite late in the day. Going to take a little walk along part of the Crouch estuary and take a look and see what's going on. I was walking past here recently. There's quite a lot of wildlife to be seen, so we'll see what we can see today. If we're lucky, we may see some interesting stuff. And just walking out now. As soon as I get into the green stuff, I'll let you know. You can see how late it is in the day. See there, permission footpath. So, let's have a look. See how long my shadow is. A couple of hours of daylight probably, if we're lucky. Hello. The whole area around here is susceptible to flooding. There hasn't been anything major really since the mid-50s. A lot of earthworks being dug. Flood defences, as you can see. There's a local community orchard there. Maybe able to see in the distance there. The tide's up. So it's usually pretty good for seeing the wildfowl. See what we got today. I mentioned earlier I've been out walking here the other day. Very short walk. A bit of a whim. And enjoyable time watching I think it was a barn owl. Obviously out hunting. Being harassed constantly by crows and magpies. Poor thing. Just trying to scratch out a living. So here we go. As you get off of this compacted path, it's a bit more grassy. There's a guides building, I think, there. So it's slightly obscured from here. The Crouch estuary is just down here. It's all tidal, of course. And just over the other side there, you can probably just make out some of those buildings. That's Holbridge, which is directly opposite to South Woodham Ferrers. A long time ago, there actually used to be a ferry between the two towns, village in, I guess, for South Woodham. It's no longer around, unfortunately. Occasionally you get some intrepid souls who make the crossing at low water on foot, believe it or not, but also on 4x4s. And actually, if you have a little look over YouTube, you'll see a few people doing it. And needless to say, it's not known for people to get stuck either. So, quite pleasant weather at the minute. Lovely light. So as we get around here, we'll have a closer look. See what we can see. clay around here generally. It takes a rather long time to dry out. As you can see up on the earthworks here. It's absolutely dripping wet. Just drop down on the path here for a little while. So we get around the corner and start striking out for the proper stuff. Let's see if we can sort this out. There we go, it's better, isn't it? So, yeah. It's a funny old place around here. Certainly on this part of the walk. So it doesn't really take you anywhere. Which in itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. Right. Yeah, I'm not talking to myself. It's a bit of a peninsula here, which means that really it becomes a circular walk, which is alright. But yeah, a little bit confusing when you look at the OS map. You think that you can strike out for Northumbridge, which is kind of the next village along on the river. And, if I just turn this around, well, I just about see in the distance there the marina, which as a crow flies isn't very far at all. But if you follow the footpath, it'll get you there, all the footpaths. It's a huge switchback. So what I'll do is just stop this and turn the camera. There it is there. And a footpath actually takes you, there's a main road over there, a train line, so it takes you over the other side, all the way up to a village called Stone Marys, depending who you talk to. In a massive big loop. So where you can see the high ground up there, can't really see it from here, but the village is just up other side of the, if you just see it, there's just on the horizon, I'm about to make it out, a small white spire next to the pylon. That's Stone Mary's Church, which is quite an interesting place in itself. There's a First World War airfield, Stone Mary's airfield. I'm not sure at that point if it was RAF or Royal Flying Corps. Unfortunately my history lets me down at this point. But the churchyard there has a number of war graves for pilots and crew who were killed during the First World War. I think they used to fly intercept missions against Zeppelins coming in to bomb, and yeah, there's a few up there. For some point I'm planning to do a video of a walk that takes you through there past a disused train line which used to run from Malden to South Woodham. Still got some interesting bits to see. Right, it closed down, oh boy, 60, 70 years ago or more. But yeah, you can walk across that and up into Stone Mary's. See some interesting stuff. So yeah, at some point. As I was saying, as an estuary, there's quite a lot of features here which are good for wildlife, not least of course birds of one sort or another. As you can see, there's all reed beds and marshland and scrub, whatever. And yeah, obviously with the, I don't know what you'd call them, tide pools maybe, I don't know, creeks, fens, whatever. There's a lot of food and shelter there for wildfowl of one sort or another. You probably didn't see it, but there's some geese flying in just then. It's only a fairly recently populated part of the world, I suppose, of Essex anyway. But there's been settlements here going way back, possibly at prehistoric times. I think there's some prehistoric tools being found in places, flint, etc. And there were some salt panning activities. Let's climb up here. Here we go. You can't see them here. Oh, you can just about. Some earthworks over there, just in the middle of the screen. Might just be able to make out some mounds. For salt panning. This area's got quite a long history of salt panning. Mainly because flooded pools like this, sometimes get flooded, but maintain their height. Drain particularly quickly, which means the salinity in them increases, and that used to be taken advantage of to harvest salt. One of the more famous locations around here for salt production is Malden, which isn't a million miles from here, and even today you can go into a supermarket and probably find Malden sea salt. I must testify, I quite like it. I use it at home with my wife, and can't grumble at that. So we'll get a little bit closer now to where the peninsula starts to open up. Might not be able to see it very clearly from here, but there's a bit of a switchback here. Just comes around to the other side of this inlet and then snakes around to the corner there. Comes back on itself right around a big loop, and eventually it will bring me over to the estuary main right over there. Not be able to see it, but quite a way. So anyway, it's not a massive amount to see at this point, so I think I'll kill the camera for now and pick up when it gets a little bit more interesting. Alright, okay, we're starting to get out the main channel here. As you can see, it's a little bit more blowy out here. Hopefully the audio will be okay. Have to see. Quite pleasant out here. I mentioned earlier a little bit about the history of settlement here, and it goes way back. More recent times, certainly South Woodham Ferrers itself didn't really start to become anything significant size-wise until late 70s, early 80s. It's a new town really, but thankfully it doesn't really feel like a new town. It's actually apparently held up as a model of town planning, allegedly. There's some problems, not anywhere I guess, but actually it's quite a nice place, and it's much, it has a bit of a village feel to it really. Amenities aren't entirely fantastic, I must confess, which means you tend to have to head out a little way time to time to get what you really want from some shops. But it's not bad. Only thing that's a slight concern at the moment really is that it's part of wider government plans for new homes. They want to build, I think it's around about 1,500 to 2,000 homes north of the town, which I suspect will really change the look and feel of it, let alone the impact that's going to have on the local amenities. Not least the single line train track we have, branch line. There's no evidence yet anyone's prepared to put any money into that one, so we'll see. But it's a little way off yet. There's some stuff that's started to happen. Built a new supermarket, it's on the fringes of the town, which is quite good because it's broken a monopoly on another supermarket, which is located in the centre of the town. and unfortunately also has the freeholds for quite a lot of retail units locally, meaning that, as you might imagine, some issues around shops selling similar items, i.e. they shut down the competition, allegedly. I should hasten to add before I get hit with a lawsuit. So yeah, although South Woodham Ferrers has been around quite a long time, so it's really only become large scale relatively recently. However, like a lot of villages and or towns, this part of the country, it has a little bit of a history of smuggling. In fact, everywhere around here in Essex seems to be a bit like that. And if you've got an interest in that sort of stuff, I strongly recommend that you look up a village called Pagglesham, which again isn't a million miles from here, which has a pretty unique history from that point of view. But what's interesting is it was significant enough around here back in the day, but it's actually a part of the river known as Brandy Hole. I haven't been able to find out a huge amount about it, but the limited information I have found would suggest that Brandy Hole got its name, surprise surprise, from barrels of smuggled brandy being dropped off in that part of the river. It's not clear, but there's some suggestion that there's a feature there where, when the tide's on the ebb and on the flow, or whatever the phrase is, that it stays fairly unmolested by the current. It just creates an eddy pool. So regardless of the state of the tide, smugglers could chuck those barrels over the side of the boats, I guess, dump them there, whereupon they would stay where they're supposed to stay, waiting to be retrieved by whoever else is involved in the fun and games. So there you go. Good things about it here is that despite the local population being around the 16,500 mark, certainly this time of day, this time of year, on a Sunday specifically, tends to be quite quiet around here, certainly over the winter, if the weather's not particularly fantastic. You can literally get out here, go for a walk and not see anybody at all. And it applies particularly actually to some of the footpaths that lead out of Woodham elsewhere towards village north of the town called Woodham Ferrers, where South Woodham Ferrers gets its name from, and Bickenacre, Stone is, and a few other spots locally. And yeah, a lot of those footpaths are really unused, as I've found at my cost sometimes. But yeah, make for a nice walk. So this is a brilliant example really of why it's such a haven for wildlife. You can see here, lots of shelter, lots of potential food. And yeah, there you go. There go some of the goals. Here we go. Someone very thoughtfully put a bench here. This is kind of the headland point here, where the main part of the crouch converges with Clementsgreen Creek, Fen, and some of the other kind of marshland here, and yeah, quite a pleasant view, as you can see. Blowy, so hopefully the audio is not too savage. But, yeah, time I think for a cup of tea and a cookie. Right, just on the return leg now. I've had my tea and biscuit. Re-energised. See the sun's setting now. This return part of the walk back into South Woodham should only really take about 20 minutes, if that. Excuse me. Get down to South Woodham Ferrers Yacht Club, which is adjacent to a place called Marsh Farm. And there's a cut through there that takes me back to where I live. But, yeah, I've spent most of the fading light, as you can see. So crouch proper here. There's still some commercial boats operating here. It's 100% sure. Lots of activities over there, traditional small trawlers. Well, suspicion it's possibly shellfish, oysters, which more broadly this part plentiful. If you actually look around, see the birds being busy, help themselves to whatever they can find. I have a suspicion we probably won't see it necessarily now, but there's a couple of times I've been out this way. It's been really large. I think the word's murmuration, is it? Of birds, starlings I guess, which roost in some of these areas, these creeks, because they're really quite well protected, isolated by the water, obviously. May not be able to pick it up very well on this mic, but quite a lot of bird call, bird song. Everyone's getting geared up. Hit the sack. That's probably what I should be doing. Work tomorrow. Possibly. Can't quite work out. This water's definitely dropping. I think. Can't work out if it's the wind causing those patterns there. If it's the water flooding out. The tide range here isn't particularly drastic, I don't think. So I'd imagine that by the time we get closer to where we head off, we'll be able to see more clearly what's going on. We'll see. Yep, I think it's fairly safe to say the tide is definitely on its way up. Probably see that there. Maybe hear the ripples. Sun coming down low now. Phone's beginning to struggle a little bit. Lack of light. See that lovely late winter's evening. More of a summer person myself, particularly as I get older, but it's only to be said about it this time of year. Oh, it's fantastic, and everything's just starting to awaken now. Spring's just round the corner. It's really pleasant experience just walking around, enjoying everything. Full of goals there, settling down. Hardy soul out pedal boarding. Rather them than me. If I wind up with a drink, I'll be freezing the family jewels off. So there on the other side of the river is Holbridge, as you mentioned earlier. Holbridge is pretty large, sprawling now. Once upon a time it was relatively small. It was fairly well confined to the ferry crossing, which, like I said before, is long gone. Yeah, immediately by the water's edge, a little bit further up where the ferry crossing was, still has some of its oldie worldy charm. As you can see, as the years have passed, it's been developed. And there's a mobile home park over there now, which you can probably just about see heading up the slope of the valley. And where are we? Yeah, as we come round the corner, yeah, you may be able to see the other half of it. But nonetheless, you've still got some really lovely front properties here. So along here you can see there's this kind of, I don't know what you call it, rivulet or whatever, creating a bit of a spit. Yeah, low tide, you can see old bottles in here sometimes, and I promised myself at some point I'll come back and take a look. Could be sort of fairly contemporary, likewise they could be old. I mean, you can see some of the workings around, some of the old timbers, you know, all the way along here has been in use over the years, one way, shape or form. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility that what's there is actually quite old. You never know. We find something interesting. Yeah, fantastic, that view. Lovely. I said to my daughter I'd look to make a canoe at some point, as we live so close to the river, with the idea that we may paddle up and down, exploring some of the creeks. You can really only go as far up as Battles Bridge, upstream. Battles Bridge is an interesting one. It's got a huge antique centre there, which is worth a visit if you're into that sort of thing. And interestingly, despite the name, it's nothing to do with battles, or, well, I'll say bridges there. There's a bridge there, which I think was owned once upon a time by the Battle or Bat, or maybe it was actually the Battle family, hence Battles Bridge. So when I first came here, I was kind of thought, might be some interesting stuff to explore. around there, particularly if you've been metal detecting and etc. A bit of history. But no, there's interesting stuff there. Well, windy. But yeah, no battles I'm aware of. A bit blustery, hopefully you can hear this. So, see the lights really starting to go now. You can just see there's the rest of the Marwell Home Park there. It's on the other side. Just there, probably won't be able to see now. There's masts of boats either side of the river, which marks the spot between Oldbridge and South Woodham Ferrers where the ferry crossing used to be. There's marked out by the 2 yacht clubs there. So not very far now. Tide's definitely on the ebb. So this will all drop down soon. You can see there's a few pleasure boats moored up out in the mainstream there. So you can't see it really. That's Marsh Farm just over there, which is like a family attraction. Of course, was once a functioning farm, in the true sense. None of the land around this immediate area is really farmed in any meaningful sense. It's too prone to flooding. Whether it was at one point, I don't know. I suspect it probably was. It's all just pretty much left to fallow, I guess. That's the word. Lights are just starting to come on over there as the light goes. So it's been a pleasant little walk. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. Hopefully this will be the first of many videos as I strike out around the area in the Crouch Valley. There's quite a lot to be seen locally, stuff of interest, a few things marked out which hopefully you'll enjoy. Some interesting sights. It's funny looking at the screen here, looks an awful lot lighter than what it actually is. I guess cameras are better picking up light than my eyes. So yeah, I hope you'll join me again. Pretty much at the end of our walk now. So excuse it if I look like I'm cupping my breast. I'm not, I'm just trying to shield the microphone here because of the wind. And oh look, interesting place for a tender to wind up. Victim of a recent high water levels and wind, I suspect. Orchids, of course, clowning around. So, I hope you enjoyed this walk, and hope to see you next time. Go safe. We'll see you soon. Bye.